All right, so before we go on, make I just do you a brief info on who my awesome personality be. Now listen to me and listen to me real good. I just did joke and I didn't matter with that. All right, so Chief Paxy Elelikam is the group managing director of Vineton and Vineton Group of Companies. He's a member of the Port Harcourt Chamber of Commerce, Industry, Agriculture and Mines. He's also a member of the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations and NASIMA, a graduate of double honor, political science and economics. He's a Master of International Relations and postgraduate diploma in Dutch, German. Well, I don't say you go still want you in that Dutch language. Because me, I know a bit of Dutch. So we'll go Dutch up right now. No touch and mark, continue. You don't expect this kind of person not to be married. So he's happily married to his beautiful wife, Mrs. Rachel Ne Elekima. And he's blessed with 5 wonderful children. Chief, you are very welcome to Eye to Eye. It's so glad, it's a wonderful opportunity having you. I mean, me, as I talk to you like this, my whole body, inside out, at the ginger. Because you now wonderful personality when we get here, and I'm so happy to have you here. Welcome to the show. This is Eye to Eye. Can we meet you? I know we've actually had this, might bring them down. I know say they like speak English, they do all those things, but me, I be core Nigerian, and of course, you know where I from come. And all they do my package for where I from come. So can we just know, this one I don't talk now, the one where me I want, make them know of you. But now who know himself, now he go talk about himself. So in this moment, now I could just know who you be, apart from what I don't read.
And what you just read,
yeah,
simple person, honest,
only,
and just simple person, very honest.
Okay.
To myself.
To yourself,
That's
and
right.
of course to the society.
Of course, yes.
Yes. So you've been all about business, women empowerment, youth empowerment, everything about that. Can we know you? Can we know that side of you?
Some of the things we do for this country is to create is youth empowerment.
Okay.
Because the major problem we have in this country is youth. And until we create this empowerment for youth and for women, the economy will still be going down. The youth, when the youth are not busy, being trained, being developed, they will choose to do many other things.
Okay.
That's a very, very natural to the society. So a major thing that we should do as Nigerians is to develop our youth and teach them the right things to do. And also our women.
Yeah.
Because if you go to the youth and you go to the women, the problem, the gap is not putting close down. So we encourage every Nigerian, wherever you are, don't buy much cars on the streets. Don't build 2 beautiful houses on the streets. Bring things to make sure that the economy is training our women and our children to develop this country. That's the beginning of an economic growth in every country. The rest, other ones, are quite irrelevant.
Okay.
Until our youth come to the point where we could be proud of our youth. Our women, we could be proud of them. That's the point where we have a greater Nigeria.
Okay.
Anything outside that, we're not performing.
Okay.
And that's why I choose, in Razon Color Gold Limited, what we do, we train youth how to do cream. We train youth how to become tailors, fashion and designing. We train youth how to do something to develop themselves. Now, when you train a youth how to do fashion and designing, we don't mean youth, men and women, boys and girls. We train them how to make cream for themselves, how to do detective for themselves, how to self-establish themselves. The society will live very peacefully.
Yeah.
And you create, not only training them, we have what is called train to retrain.
Okay.
The trainer to retrain the trainer. Now, when you do that, the children are busy, the youth are busy, and they will not think what is happening today. You see a youth, this country is unsafe, insecurity. Why is it happening? Because the youth are lousy, they don't have what to do, and they are not busy to themselves. Whenever a youth is busy doing something, he has no time for any nonsense. Because what he needs is money, and he's making up his money.
Okay.
So
but what made you pick, like, what were the things you saw, or the things you observe, wey come make you say, make I focus my energy on this youth? Wetin be the thing when you see where you feel say they know they do well, wey make you come say, okay, make you position there to help them?
Because when you go to London, and when you go to US, and when you go to other parts of the world, including India and China, you discover that the growth of the economy on a daily to yearly affair is created by the youth and the women. But when you come to Nigeria, you hear about youth and kidnapping, youth as hand robber, youth as thieves, and it's majorly caused by a lot of our politicians.
Why did you say that?
Because they vote you in as a senator. You got about 35 to 45 million. You don't think about the youth that puts you there. So how does this youth grow? The next thing, they are in the motor park, they are in the bush, they are looking for guns to kidnap people and make money. So the country is not going forward the way we expect to do. And I choose to go to do what I'm doing now, to train youth, to create employment to the society. To create employment to the society, so that our youth will have what to do. When you, for example, let's take the amnesty together, what is happening in the presidential amnesty. When you train the youth, and also establish something to them on what to do, they are employed, they can be employed and retrain other people. So the youth are busy, they got what to do. That's why when people talk about Professor Charles talk about, he has put a lot of input to the youth training in Nigeria, mostly the Niger Delta. And that's the piece, what we want every person in position to help the children on what to do. And that's why we say, look at the Northeast. People said the Northeast, internal displaced people. When you bring them out from internal displaced area, where are you going to put them in camp? You don't put them in camp. Bring them for training.
Okay.
If they are trained, by the time they are going back to their village, they have to train another 1 or 2 children. So they are not the same people that you drove out by Boko Haram or whatever names yes meant. Now they have come to the area, they have been trained, they are going back either with one machine or one tools to establish and to train other people in the system. Now if it is done, nobody has a fear to leave where he's living. But today I tell you something. If you come to the Senate or you go to the House of Rep and you leave the youth the way you have just kept them, go back and live in the community. You can't. You want to go to London. If you go to London, will you stay in London and die? You want to go to America. If you go to America, will you stay in America to die? You will still come back and meet this youth. So if you don't come back, your children will come back.
Yeah.
Because home is home.
Okay. Is there any political reason? Is there any political interest why you are doing this? I mean, you later won't contest for governorship or for presidency, because for Nigeria, we get this ideology. Say, if you do any kind of thing like that, look and where you want to contest election, you want to be politician, or if they find something from government. Is there anything like that in your own case?
I will ask you no.
Okay.
Why I'm doing it? If I can train up to 500 children in fashion and designing, in making cream, in making different detergents for themselves, and they grow, or be able to go to school, or be able to do anything if I do that. And the day that I will die, I'll have over 1,000 children around me. And that's the only glory that I want. Any other things is rubbish.
Okay.
Because when you die, the only thing you do in your life is to for God to accept you in heaven. Not how much money you left behind. But the things you do for these children who does not have parents, for these children who are not well to do, for these children that can able to take good care of themselves, these are the happiness you will have in your life. Okay. Not how many cars, 10, 20 cars senators buy for themselves. And that's why we stay to condemn some of them, because they go to London, they go to America, they go to everywhere and see what the people are doing. Why can't they do it in their country? Yeah. Nigeria is the largest country in Africa. Today we can see that, because we are not, South African children can kill Nigerian children and nothing happens. If you kill an American dog in Matama, the ambassador will come and pick that dog and the dog is in the US.
Yeah.
Kill 200 Nigerians in South Africa.
Nobody.
They will not even know where they buried them.
Okay.
And that's the country we are talking about that we need a change.
All right. Okay, we're going to take a break now, but when we come back, we're still going to talk to you on more things, especially as it has to do with the youth. But for now, you have to tell me this next song that you want me to play for you. You already mentioned, but I want you to say it to our audience so they will know.
That is what are the artists I love?
No, not that one. You said we should play you Flavor.
Dr. Mighty.
We'll play Dr. Mighty for you.
Flavor as well.
Give me those flavor lines.
What is the name of this song? Ada.
Yo. All right, let me
Yes,
come
and
back.
the other one is Dr. Mighty.
Uh-huh.
I'm a Port Harcourt boy.
Don't worry, we're coming back to you very soon. This is Eye to Eye. Do not touch a dial. We'll be right back.
Have you seen my beautiful baby? Have you seen my tomato baby? Oh, ELA, baby, suffer the cool me temper. Ada, baby, na sugar. Yo. Everybody they wait. Utakene no more. If I didn't maka, better soup na money kilamo. Ada mwa pekem ya. Ada.
Alright, in case you're just joining us, this is Eye to Eye with Sabi Girl, and of course we're talking to a very wonderful business-oriented personality, Chief. I wanted to add honorable, but make I don't leave her because whenever they talk to us politics right now, Chief Paxy Elelikam. Alright, we see the yarn on top of the matter. Now we know that you do you train people to do textile and all that. So the materials, how do you produce? Do you buy like made in Nigerian products or you import from other
I buy made in Nigerian product to encourage the people who are producing.
Okay. So do you think like the government is as our economy is right now, you feel say this is our product then we will get? How you see our own way of production? It's like we don't even export. Like everything we just do is just within. Does it have a challenge on your training, on the business you are doing right now? How is it? How has it been?
No, Nigeria is a very great country.
Yes, we do.
China is what it is because of their population.
Okay.
America is what it is because of their population.
Okay.
There's nothing that you do in this Nigeria that is not going to sell because we have the population.
Okay.
The only thing we need to do is to encourage our local producers.
Okay.
To encourage our local.
Do you think the government is actually encouraging them? Because it doesn't look like that.
For now, no.
Okay.
And that's why we have access to these interviews.
Okay.
To make sure that government comforts to help their people.
Okay.
Because the government has different tiers. You have the federal government, you have the state government, and you have the local government council.
Yes.
So they can touch to the people. As in as much as government have respect for the people that put them in power and support them, Nigeria's situation will change.
Okay.
So we are asking government, please go back and support the people that have put you in power. That is the only place where the people will be very happy.
Okay.
There will be no kidnapped.
Mm-hmm.
There will be no killing. There will be no armed robbery. There will be no nothing.
Okay.
Because the people are being held by the government. So the cause of the problem of insecurity in Nigeria is only one person.
Okay.
And that's the government.
Yes.
The federal government. As soon as they change the system and they try to help the people, mostly youth, women, the whole situation will change. So I'm begging them, and they beg them, let them change their old culture and come to this new fashion of to help the youth. Not on television,
Yeah.
saying we are giving this youth this, we are giving this youth.
Okay.
We should see it happen.
Yeah.
You should see it happen. And when it's happened, the same us that are saying that government don't help now will come back to the television and say government is helping.
Okay.
And that's why I mentioned Professor Charles Dokwo with the amnesty
Yes.
that is going on with the South South. Something is happening.
Yeah.
And so that's why we are saying when government starts, government will be praised for.
Okay.
And that's why we're expecting what this government will do with the youth for these 4 years that is in place.
All right. But before we go into the next segment, which I know is the funny part, because we want to see the other side of this very serious thing. Now, how would you describe this generation? I know it's quite different from your time. So how would you describe this, our generation, where you need help? How you see us? We different from on our own time.
This generation is totally different from our time.
Okay.
For their music,
okay,
what we hear in the music is boom, boom, blah, blah, boom, 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 boom. How to dance is also a problem.
Okay.
Quite different from our music.
But on a time, that time, when I no get dance step, now at least they try produce steps.
No, our step was more. You know, if they sing a song, somebody can sing a song, say, I've been loving you. So you don't need to chase the girl. You just say, you just go and play the music, I've been loving you. So if you don't play I've been loving you, I mean if the girl is making too much younger, go back and play a record called Be My Own.
Yeah, hey little girl, be my own.
So immediately you get here, I'm playing Be My Own. She just said, look, you have already taken me on. But this is your music now. I was saying, if my papa no be down good, happy, Abiola, so this thing, so it's not working these days. It's not romantic.
Oh my God.
It's not very romantic.
Okay, now we're going to go this way.
Yes.
If you were an artist, so
yes.
Which artist would you like to do a collab with in this our generation? Which artist where you like pass?
I've mentioned 2 before. I can add Davido.
Davido?
Yes.
Okay, so why you like Davido now?
He has created some impact into the young one.
Okay.
So you must follow the generation. He has created some impact in the young one. And Davido, one of the things that is making him, he comes along other musicians to create impacts, and the record will start selling. And you see that today. If you look at the film industry, if you look at the musical industry, you discover that Nigeria is growing more peacefully. Apart from the gossip, we'll call it side gossip, pure gossip, or social gossip, which is very, very, very common everywhere, even in Hollywood and Nollywood. So we don't look at it, but you can see that the children are trying. So we also need government to encourage these social youth who are acting the films, who are also playing the music. Give them 10 million. They will do something, you will be surprised.
Yes.
So these boys, it will a continuity. You know, during our time, we have scholarship, real scholarship to go abroad and study and come back and do this. These days, people give scholarship, the children are reported back to this country. So nothing is happening. And we know that we have money in this country. We have a lot of money in this country. And sometimes it even disturbs when you hear Nigerians are going borrowing. Borrowing for what? Borrowing for what?
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they should also assist our media people, children, the musicians, and also the what? The actors and the actresses. Buy them equipment, buy them issues, partner with them. They could go to Hollywood, go to Nollywood, and come back and become something that you really want them to do. And these are prayers for all of them.
Okay.
You know, and this is why I personally choose to start putting them into training.
Yeah.
To start putting them into section, so that even if you don't go to school, you have a profession. You can learn and train to retrain others.
Okay.
So when you build that testimony or that temple to these children, you have your peace.
Okay.
If you don't have your peace here, you will have your peace in heaven. Because God will ask you, what did you do while you're on earth? You can tell him, sincerely, my Lord, I didn't have enough money, but I was able to train 500 children to learn a profession and to do this. And you don't lie, because as you're speaking to him, you know exactly what you're saying is true. So no matter whatever sin you have committed, because of this very reason, he will forgive you. Okay. You know, these are the things we are praying for.
All right.
Our people.
Okay, so before we go, we'd like to just ask, what will be your candid advice to the youth out there, and of course to the government concerning the youth?
My pure advice to youth of Nigeria, please leave gun alone.
Thank you.
Because the Bible cannot tell us a lie. If you kill by gun, you will also die by gun.
Okay.
Listen to your parents. Because no parents can tell a child the wrong aspect of it.
Okay.
Be able to discuss with your parents. Be able to listen to them. Love your sisters, love your neighbors as you love yourself.
Yeah.
The Bible is a teacher for all of us.
Okay.
If you're a Muslim, be a Muslim. If you're a Christian, be a Christian. And one of the major things that until Nigerian Muslims and Nigerian Christians learn to live together, marry each other, this country will not go wherever we are going.
Very correct.
And these are my advice for the children. Leave gun alone. Because if you kidnapped somebody's mother, somebody will also kidnap your mother. When you have a problem, come to the street. Tell government what you want. The government of South Africa, nobody impeached any of the president. The people come on the street and they have sense, they resign.
Okay.
Look at Bristol, what is happening in the UK. 2 prime ministers have resigned because they feel we cannot satisfy our people. Let the government of Nigeria also respect the mind of the youth in this country.
Yeah.
Because they will be president of tomorrow. Only if they live the expectancy of their parents. So I advise every youth in this country, patience.
Okay. All right. So for the youth out there who actually have heard you, and they would like to say, how I want to participate for this training too. Me too. I want to drop gun. I want to begin day into this platform. How you feel say? How you they carry them? How you they take care of them?
Every youth, you want to be trained at fashion and designing. You want to be trained to make cream. You want to be trained to make detergent or soap. Yeah. Everything that you want to be trained for. Go to your liaison office. All the state liaison office. We have our document. We have a document, and if you go to Razon Color Gold Nigeria, in the internet, you will see our number. Call on us.
Yeah.
Or go to Amnesty, the Presidential Amnesty. Go to your liaison building. Call on us. We'll ask you how to become a member of our training club.
Okay.
And we'll train you and also support you. This is exactly what we want to do for the youth.
Thank you very much, Chief, for coming on this wonderful show today. I had fun with you, chilling, even though at some point I can't want to laugh too much. But you go pardon me now, who will we be? You say, come be like, say, won't take the work from us, but it's fine. Thank you so much. I hope when we call again, you're going to answer us.
I'll be
youth, so I suppose follow for the training.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
So you're welcome.
Thank you. All right, my people, and now here we'll be like, so we want to close the curtain, but we're not they close the curtain as per se, we don't close that. We close the curtain based on say, may you know how you go live your life as a youth out there. And of course, if you be government person one day, people don't they touch light, they talk about government and how government need to come into our lives to make our lives better as youth. Because this nation, the old go finally go. Now we will be the young will take over. So Mona try treat us right so that we too go treat generation coming right according to waiting Chief Paxy don't talk. So my people now one-on-one babies, eye to eye, we don't yarn finish. And so they come out now. I would like you to follow us on our social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, which other social media we again. And of course, you want to get trained as Chief Don't Talk. May you also log into the website. Just log in and this website could be run around right now. So may you just pick and log in. Anything they tell you to do, they do. You might be lucky. Now you if you pick. So come go your training, then empower you. Thank you all so much. At this point, I want to drink tea.